Now, I adapted this from Fred Reichhel's book, The Ultimate Question, which is, anyone read that? It's a great book around customer loyalty. So I just adapted it. Now, how many of you are leaders in your organization? A few of you, quite a few. You want a real test on your leadership? Ask your employees to fill out the answer to this question. How likely would they recommend you as a leader to their friends, family members, and colleagues? Why would that be a strong indication as to whether or not they buy into you? Absolutely. What's your name? Chris. Chris said, if I wanted to recommend them to a friend or family member, it's because I trust them. Kind of interesting that we just talked about trust. What did I do for Mario just a few minutes ago?
Gave him a testimonial.
I gave him a personal testimonial, which was true and honest. Okay, so I imagine that a few of you will probably seek out to talk to this guy just because of me saying he's a good guy. You can pay me later. True story. So think about that. Think about how this could play out. So I did this, and this is going external for a moment, and I challenge you to think about your behaviors at work, because you carry those same exact behaviors into your non-work life. And I did this study. Actually, we blacked it out. What percentage of people do you think, and I'm going to tailor this, in the HR training, when I've done presentations and I've asked this question of HR training people, how likely you recommend your boss to a family member, friend, or colleague? What percentage would recommend their bosses 9 or 10, which means highly recommend? Wow, you're optimistic. I heard 0 and 22. How about 12% in the HR function? How about if I ask you how many would recommend their boss, colleague, or to a colleague, friend, or whatever, and say 7 to 8? What percentage do you think would recommend? Close. He said 16. How about another 12%? So that leaves from 1 to 6, which equates to basically from 1 to 3 says, I hate your guts. Absolutely talking about how bad you are. 4, 5, and 6 are kind of indifferent. I'm not going to recommend you at all. So that leaves a lion's share, 76%, right? 12 and 12 is 24, 76%. In the HR function. We all are the ones who are supposed to be helping people and being the leaders. And yet we won't even recommend our own people to other people. So what do you think happens when we go off into board positions as chapter leaders at ASTD or SHRM? What happens to trust? What are the things we're doing that cause us to not get recommended at work if we were to ask that question? And yet we're supposed to be the best at it.